Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Rarasu Amarabi. On this channel, I film content surrounding graduate school, sustainability education, and lifestyle. Today we have a very interesting interview. So I have Frederick Osunde on the channel today, and he got his H1B visa before graduating. If you're an international student in the United States, you know that you come with F1 visa, that's your student visa. And like towards graduation, you start looking for a job, and then you apply for your OPT, which is like a work authorization for like 1 year. If you're in the STEM field, you get 2 years extension, that's like 3 years. And so while you're working with your work authorization, you try to get your company to file for H1B visa for you, which is like the working visa. So like every international student's dream is actually getting that working visa. But today we have Fred on the show that actually got this working visa before graduating. This is the first time I'm hearing of it. That means he probably like jumped through OPT. And so we're going to be interviewing him today to find out exactly how he went through that process. So Fred, welcome to the show, to the channel. Thank you for accepting to be here.
It's my pleasure, actually.
Yeah. So please, can you just introduce yourself to us?
Like you've said, my name is Frederick Osunde. Originally from Nigeria. Had my bachelor's in Nigeria. Then proceeded to come to the United States for grad school. Did my master's in University of Massachusetts, Lowell. My major was electrical engineering. So I actually did electrical engineering undergrad and then grad school.
Okay. So when you came for your master's in electrical engineering, did you go the thesis route or non-thesis?
Actually, initially I intended to do research. And when I came here, I decided to just take regular classes and just graduate, because I realized I did not enjoy research as much as I thought I would. So I just took classes.
That was a very smart move, because if you don't enjoy research, there's really no need like going into that part. Yeah. So how long did it take you to finish your master's?
4 semesters. I had to take 30 graduate coursework, 30 credits of
credits.
Yeah. So that translates to what? 10 classes. Yeah. So 4 semesters.
Oh, so you did summer? Did you do summer?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was working on something.
Oh, so yeah. So did you get an internship during the master's?
Yes, I actually got 1 co-op, 1 7-month co-op, and then a 4 months internship.
Can you please explain what co-op means?
Co-op is just like an internship, but most times it's usually longer. It's longer than an internship. You get to work in a company. Sometimes you get to work, do research, or you work in a technical field if you're in engineering in a company. Sometimes what you do at work translates to courses you've taken in class. It's sort of like bridging the gap between the industry and a classroom.
So you do that while taking classes, right?
So you can, a co-op, typically you're supposed to not take classes, 6 months co-op. But for my case, it was interesting because I was an international student. The school would not allow me do a 6 or 7 months co-op full-time, because as an international student, as you know, you have to maintain graduate coursework at I think full-time status. For you to be in status, you have to maintain your graduate coursework. Namely, you have to take 3 classes, which translate to 9 credits. So they would not allow me to do the full-time co-op. So what they did, we came to an agreement, and they allowed me work full-time in the summer. And then for 4th semester, I did part-time co-op. So I was maintaining graduate full coursework while working 20 hours a week. So I would go to class, and then sometimes after class, I would have to go to work. But between work and class, I was doing 20 hours of work, and then 9 credits of coursework.
So your co-op and your internship, were they in the same company?
No. So the co-op was and the internship were different. So I got the co-op first. While on the co-op, I was applying for an internship for the spring semester, and I got an internship. But then, as you know, you would need work authorization after summer to work. So I applied for pre-OPT. Pre-OPT enabled me to work in my last semester as an intern, even while taking classes. So it's basically an advance of you use time from your post-OPT. So say your post-OPT, as you know, is initially for 1 year and then subsequent renewal for 2 years if you are a STEM major. But pre-OPT allows you to take time off from your post-OPT to work before you graduate. So whatever time you use for pre-OPT when you graduate will be taken out of your post-OPT time. So I used, I think, about 4 months of pre-OPT, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so let's try to like get the timing straight so that everyone understands, including me. Yeah. What semester did you start your master's?
Okay, so I started fall 2017. That's September 2017.
Okay.
Then I started applying for job passively around October 2017. Passively, I say passively because, as you know, international students are not eligible to work until they've completed one academic session, namely 2 consecutive semesters, excluding summer semester. So since I was a fall intake, I would have completed my 2 semesters at the end of spring 2018. Yeah. So I started passively applying for jobs around October 2017, like 2-3 months after I came to the United States. Passively, I would apply to jobs, just code online applications, network, reach out to recruiters, try to get a general sense of what they are looking for, what skills will you need, what's the structure of the interview, what are some of the questions they would ask you, do you have these skills? So I got all those, and then I needed to learn some skills, so I had to take external classes, maybe a few programming classes, or take classes that would enable me to do very well in the interview, just to put me on a competitive advantage here. So I did all that, and then I think I got a few calls for interview, but then I got an offer in April 2018. That was when I got first co-op offer, April 2018. That was to last through till from the summer down to the end of the year, 2018. But I started in the summer.
Okay. So like you started applying online, you didn't attend like career fairs on campus?
I mean,
conferences, yeah.
I never attended any. I take that back. I did attend one conference, but that was late 2018. So that was even after getting the co-op. I did attend a career fair in school, but it wasn't really productive for me, though. It wasn't. Prior to that, I'd made contacts through networking and stuff like that.
So, like when you say networking, like do you go on LinkedIn to look for like recruiters of the company like you want to apply to and like send messages there, or look for their emails and send them emails, and did they respond? Like how did that go?
I did all of that. What really worked when I say networking, I reached out to people who I felt at that time they've been in my situation before, namely ex-international students who are now working in like different companies. Like I just sort of like reach out to them. What did they do while they were in school? How did they get the kind of jobs they had and stuff they did? So I formed a network with people who were working. So it's easy to ask for a referral when there's this certain level of familiarity, because people tend to refer somebody they can vouch for, somebody they know about. Yeah. So forming those network, when it came for actual application, it was easy for me to leverage the relationship we had to ask for referrals and stuff like that. Yeah. So I also reached out to recruiters. But the thing about reaching out to recruiters is not all of them would respond. They are busy. So sometimes your message gets lost in the mail and they don't respond. But for the most part, a number of them would respond.
Nice. So you started your co-op the summer of 2018, right? Can you tell us what company you co-opted with?
Yeah, it was Skywork Solutions. It's a semiconductor company. I was in Massachusetts then, so it's a semiconductor company in Woburn. Woburn is in Massachusetts.
So you co-opted all through summer 2018. Did you continue in fall?
Yeah, in fall I continued, but part-time. Part-time. So because I had to take
classes.
Yeah.
Then you got your internship when?
So while I was working, while I was doing my co-op, I was still applying for jobs, applying for internships and full-time job because I realized I'll be graduating spring 2019, which is which was what a semester away. So I was applying for both internships and full-time positions. But then my assumption was I would get an internship before 2018. And so I applied for pre-OPT around October, because as you know, when you're OPT, I think it takes about 90 days of processing time. So I applied for pre-OPT around October 2018, hoping that I would get approved for pre-OPT around December. And if I get an internship offer, then I'll be able to use the pre-OPT to work spring of 2019. I was fortunate.
Yeah, because I'll say you're very fortunate, because that's like a very dicey
exactly.
To me. Yeah, because if you don't get a job, what happens?
So if nothing really happens, just as good at that time. So imagine having, I could do that because I was STEM, so I knew I had 3 years of OPT, so I could afford to, in quote, waste 3 or 4 months or gamble with 3 or 4 months because I had 3 years. But then that may not be the case for other students who have just 1 year of post-OPT. So yeah, I did that, and I got an offer for internship in December for the spring, and my card came, my EAD card for the pre-OPT came in December also. So I was able to start the internship in the spring, and it was really very close to school. That was really cool.
So what company was this internship?
It was Diagnosis LLC.
Okay. So now let's come to like the main job. Was like did the internship translate into the main job, or like you got a main job?
No. So, while applying for my pre-OPT, I was also applying, like I said, for internship and full-time. I got a couple of full-time interviews before December. I didn't get any offer then. But then I think towards December end, I got another interview, and then I got the offer in January. I did the interview in January, just before starting my last internship, and I got the full-time offer in January. So because I got the full-time offer in January, I had a whole lot of options, because remember I would be graduating in the spring, which is June 2019. As of January, I already had a full-time offer. So that gave me like 3-4 months of 3-4 months window to like make other plans and stuff like that.
So how did you, like, even before, like, so from what I can get, you were working like in your internship, but you had already gotten like offer for the full-time, right? So but you had not started because you were still...
Yeah, a student.
Yeah. So, but how are you now then able to apply or get them to apply for the H1B even before you started working for them? Or like, I'm assuming that this company you got an offer with is the company that sponsored your H1B. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. So
I know now the H1B process has changed, but then applications for H1B starts April. So April, first week of April, I think USCIS starts receiving applications from company who intend to sponsor them employees for H1B. So being that I got a full-time offer in January, I had a couple of months until April. So I was able to reach an agreement with the company to start the process even before I resumed work in June. So they gathered all the paperwork. I think it took them about 1-2 months to get all the paperwork. Met the immigration firm, reached out, they did everything, and then I was fortunate because I got selected in the lottery, and then in April I was notified. I think 2 weeks or thereabouts after the lottery, I was notified that I was selected in the lottery, and then that was it.
Yes, that's really wonderful.
And
Yeah, because that's really good. The fact that you started early and you're able to get like the offers and you were within the period for application. Yeah. So what advice would you give to like current grad students, like even like people in the masters and even PhD level, like they're still in school? What advice can you give to them to prepare for like a smooth transition from F1 to H1B?
I think it all starts with getting a job. Yeah. So H1B doesn't come if you don't have a job. You have to get a job in a company that sponsors international students or that sponsors our employees for H1B and possibly green card. So my advice would be to start early. I think a lot of students make the mistake of waiting until they graduate or waiting until the very last semester before they graduate, before they start making plans for after graduation. Whether you like it or not, we all have to agree you would graduate. So the thing is, start early, make plans, and it depends on a lot of factors. You can do, or you can work hard, and it may depend on factors beyond your control. But at the very least, you should be able to do all you can to at least say you did all you can. Start very early. If you get a job before you graduate, you have I think a couple of months to be able to apply and even get the H1B before you start working. But that may not be the case. But my advice is start very early.
Yeah, start as early as 2 months.
Yes.
Like you started applying for like jobs like 2 months after you even started. Like your stuff started all the way from them. Cause I think that was also like part of what made it easier for you. The fact that they saw that like you had already like done co-op and like so not waiting to just like apply for a job at the end of your program. Start applying, right? That's why
I remember then when I was applying, because I would be applying for jobs. That was like 2 months after school started. It's what, September, October, November. Between November and December, I would be applying for job. And like people would be like, why are you applying for a job? Like you just started, focus on school, focus on grad school, do other stuff, like go out, socialize. Being in America there's so much more to do than just, yeah. But I think ultimately that contributed to the way things worked out. Because by the time I was really ready, because then I said I was just passively applying, by the time I was really ready, I had done a couple of interviews. So I was familiar with the structure. I was much more confident talking to a recruiter or hiring manager. Because trust me, your first interview would always be, except you're exceptional, like you've been doing this for very long. Your first interview, you would feel no matter how much you prepare, you may not necessarily do well unless you have the experience before. Because we're international students, we have different education background. The way we convey ideas, the way we express ourselves, it's all different. So conversing or talking or having an interview with a hiring manager who possibly is a native speaker of English has its challenges apart from the technical questions you're going to be asked. So having multiple dry runs, as the case may be, or doing multiple practice would help. And you only get those dry runs if you just passively apply and get called for interview and take the interview, even if you're given an offer, you would not be eligible to take it, but just take the interview anyways, because that would build your confidence.
And I also like the point you brought out when you said like when you networked, you also found out like skills that were required in like your field, and so like you took extra classes for that.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So the thing is, so I knew I wanted to work in this industry. The idea was, okay, now I want to work in this industry. What are those companies that I'm eligible to apply for? I sort of like made a list of the companies. I had an Excel and sheet of different companies. Now, it's funny now when I think about it, because
it's not funny. That's being organized. You're very organized young.
Excel sheet of companies that I would apply to, and I would use Glassdoor, and there was Indeed, yes, and Glassdoor. But I think I like Glassdoor because of the interface. I was just biased, so I used Glassdoor a lot. I would look at a job position. Oh, okay, they require you to have X degree, Y degree. Okay, check. I think I have this one. They require you to know this. I don't know this, so that goes to like your to-do list. You have to know that. They require you to know this. So I had a to-do list of like match requirements with what I know. So I found gaps, and I realized that the classes I've taken did not really enable me to fill those gaps. So I sought for classes that I can take online that would fill those gaps. YouTube videos, took some classes on Udemy. I took a couple of classes on Coursera just to supplement what I do, what I've taken in school, or what I would still take in school, just to fill those gaps. And by then, it was just getting myself prepared for when I eventually begin to apply and do interviews and take interviews, just to get me prepared.
So, apart from like the skills that you were gaining and all, did you like go, because like in universities they have like the, what they call them, I don't know what they call them right now, but like the office, I don't know if it's the recruitment office that like helps you like prepare your CV.
I can't remember again.
Oh yeah, but were you like visiting that office like regularly?
I really never used.
You never used.
But I wouldn't advise. I mean, whatever resources you have at your disposal, just make use of them. But I really never used, because I think, because I was just starting out first semester, I think those resources were geared toward those who needed them. At that point in time, I did not need it. I was just taking my first 3 classes, no work experience, so there was really nothing to put on my resume. And so I really never used their services.
Okay. Were you funded for your master's?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Why I was asking that, because I'm like, okay, if you were funded, were you working for school? How were you combining all of this? But like, even like with that, like you're not funded, but you were like doing your co-op, like your internship with your school, like, and you were also like applying for job while like taking classes and all. Like, how were you? Did you have a social life during this period, or it was just I must get the job, like nothing else matters? I'm not going out, I'm just like going to class, apply for jobs, and that's it. Were you able to balance your social life with your academic and like career?
I think okay, if I were to answer that question, I would say yes, but I'm sure some of my friends would say otherwise. So I'm just going to say yes. I think I was able to maintain a balance. I mean, I had I think I had social life. I think so.
Anyways, even if you didn't have then, do you have now? Yeah, right? Do you? Or you're too busy with work? Like, even if you didn't have then, you have now, right?
I was kidding, scrap that. Yeah, I had a social life in school. I mean, I hung out with a few of my buddies who played games, enjoyed playing games.
Yeah, that's social enough.
How to try restaurants and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. So that counts as
yeah, of course, that counts.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. I have a last question. Yeah. So like there are a lot, you probably know people, yeah, like there are a lot of international students now, right now. They've graduated, but they've not even gotten jobs. Like most of them are depressed right now. Like it's difficult, yeah, for a lot of people. So do you like what advice do you have any advice for anybody in that situation, like a recent graduate who has not even like gotten a job yet to even use their OPT, talk less of the H1B? Do you have any advice for them?
let me start by saying I can relate to how one would feel because of the entire pressure of graduating. You have to get a job between within a certain amount of time, else you have to go back home and stuff like that. So I can relate to all that. I know how the pressure is, but the advice would be to stay calm, because when you're under pressure and you don't look for a way to stay calm, you'll probably just be running in circles and not really make anything fruitful out of your situation. So try to remain calm, but do something. Like, don't just become depressed and then idle, or just isolate yourself. Like, reach out to people, talk, network, apply, make a mental plan of what you hope to accomplish. Set small goals. I think that's really it. Set small goals. So your goal may be to get a job, but that's like the big goal. But set smaller goals. Smaller goals may be, I would try to put in 10 applications daily. I would try to get at least one interview every month. And those are smaller goals. So when you get those smaller goals, you notice you get a sense of fulfillment and happiness, and that generally cheers you and drives you toward reaching your main goal. Also, breaking down your main goal into small chunks or steps or attainable goals generally builds your spirit or lifts your spirit, especially when you start meeting these small goals.
Thank you very much, Fred, for like all the nuggets you shared.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm sure like I gained a lot, and my audience, my viewers also, like when they watch it, I'm sure they'll gain a lot. So if you're still in grad school, if you're just entering grad school, and like if you're a master's and you don't like go for your page, you start applying now for jobs, just like Fred started like a month or two after I came here. Just start early, and like even if you've graduated now and you've not gotten a job, just like stay calm, like he says. Set small goals, everything will be all right. Please, like, just make sure you just find a way to lift your spirits. Everything will be good in time. So yeah, thank you very much, Fred, for actually coming on this channel to share your experience. We are very grateful. When I say we, me and my viewers, we're very grateful. I'll be leaving his contact details, like his LinkedIn. Can I leave your email in my description box? Yeah, so I'll leave his email also. If you want to reach out to him, you can. And yeah, every of his details will be in my description box. So yeah, thank you very much. So guys, thank you for watching till the end of this video. If you're not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe and join the tribe. Like, comment, share, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.